Ding Dong and the Instigator.
Hello. Join us for a better introduction to Frankie and Merman. If you're just tuning in, I'm Karen from Goats with Horns Animal Sanctuary on ReelTime Animal Rescue. And I've been absent from doing our little sanctuary spotlight for some time. We did have a rough summer, but I'm going to try to get back on track. So today we're going to talk about Frankie and Merman. We're actually looking at Merman right now. These two guys are our newest residents at the sanctuary, although they've been here with us since June. So that's about 6 months they've been here. So you can see Merman is nibbling on a bucket of spent hay. We just raked all of the spent hay, and he's nibbling on that. Now, Mark, my co-volunteer / husband, is going to take the hay out to the front of the field and dump it for the critters to nibble on. And, I have somebody nibbling on me right now. Hey, Zeus. Little interrupter. So you can take that out, babe. This is kind of like a funny little thing that Merman does every day, is follow the bucket. So I said, that'll be a good opener. So yeah, if you're just tuning in, I'm Karen from Goats with Horns Animal Sanctuary on ReelTime Animal Rescue, and I'm introducing the world to Frankie and Merman. This is Merman. Frankie and Merman are brothers, twin brothers. They think they're about approximately 4 years old, probably going on 5 at this point. So Merman is just following Mark because he's got the bucket of spent hay that we just raked up. Merman is actually a lot bigger than his brother, and I'll introduce you to Frankie in just a moment. Frankie is quite a bit smaller. He apparently suffered a bout of coccidia as a baby, so he's a little tinier. He also has clearly some digestive issues, so he poops different than other goats. It's kind of runny and diarrhea-like most of the time, so we do have to clean his bottom occasionally. Oh, here he is. This is Frankie, of the Frankie and Merman duo. Look at those airplane ears. So yeah, these two guys, they're twin brothers. I'll kind of show you like what his backside looks like. This sanctuary rescue world. This is what we do. We look at bums and poop a lot. Yeah, so I'm going to have to clean that up today. So Frankie and Merman are approximately 4 years old. They're brothers. They were actually brought here, rehomed to us from a sanctuary that unfortunately had to dissolve. So the good news is they've had a good life so far. So, I mean, not so far, but, they've had a good life previous to coming here, and they're going to have a good life with us. And that was kind of like the running joke when they first came here, because they're, I think, maybe like a little spoiled. They're very, very food motivated. All of our animals are food motivated, but these guys are kind of like excessively so. So we do separate one of them from the rest of the herd when we do feedings in the morning and in the evenings, because if the two of them together, like, they can kind of gang up on other animals. So as you can see, there's Albert, the sheep. So we did do some touching on the subject in the summertime, where after they had been here for, maybe a few weeks, they started trying to work out their pecking order. And Merman and Frankie were really going hard on Albert, and they were almost like teaming up on him. And it was kind of scary because it was real, real, real hot, like 117 degrees Fahrenheit hot, like all the time this summer. And they were kind of bullying Albert and teaming up on him. And the poor guy, he would run and run and run and run and pant and pant and pant and pant. And we were like, we know in our guts that they kind of sort of have to just like work it out. But it was just so dangerously hot. We didn't want Albert, just like running and panting. And so we did kind of try some separation tactics for some time. And then, It kind of all just smoothed over. So they're pretty good. They're still can do a little pick in, but for the most part, if we put either Frankie or Merman in a stall by themselves while they're eating and just leave one out, they do pretty well. But if we leave both out, then they kind of gang up. But that's because Albert is pretty much the kind of like the alpha now. We had Gibby and Snowy, but they've both passed on, and then Albert kind of assumed the role of being the patriarch of the family, and then these two guys roll in and stirred up a little bit of chaos, but everything is pretty good now. And I'll tell you what, Merman and Frankie are both very affectionate, which is nice because, we know they've had a nice past. This guy here, he's nibbling, nibble, nibble, nibble. That's all he does. But he likes to let me pet him and he likes to hang out and scratch his neck. He likes that. He's a really good boy, right? So they're actually really good boys. But at first I was just like, oh my God, these guys are crazy and they're annoying. Right, Merman? So yeah, this is Merman of the Frankie and Merman duo. They are twin brothers. So if you're just tuning in, I'm Karen from Goats with Horns Animal Sanctuary, and just kind of wanted to give you a little more in-depth intro to Frankie and Merman. Even though they're our newest residents, they have been with us for 6 months now. They seem to have kind of worked out their place in the herd, and they are just absolute sweethearts. They've known a good life their whole life, so they're fortunate in that regard. But boy, these guys like to eat. They can eat. Like all of our animals can eat, but these two are just too much. Hey, Merman. So we're going to go talk to Frankie a little bit. Like as you can see, you can't really see them together. Merman is quite a bit larger than his brother. Oh, there's Albert. Let's go say hi to Albert. He's got some hay on his nose. What you doing, buddy? Hi, Albert. Hi. I know you're on TV. You're famous now, buddy. Which is funny because you know what? If they were famous, they wouldn't even know. So yeah, we'll go talk to Frankie. So as I said earlier in the broadcast, Frankie had... Hi, Esperanza. Hi, pretty mama. You're on TV and you're famous now. Oh, beautiful girl. Here comes Chico. Oh, and Thomas. Everybody says, what are you doing? Do you have treats? You guys are interrupting my story about Frankie and Merman. It's not all about you. Just kidding. Hi, Thomas. You're the most beautiful boy. This right here is probably the kindest soul that lives on the planet. And then there's Chico. Hi. You already had your spotlight, but you're cute. So you can have another one. So yeah, let's go talk to Frankie. So as I was saying, Frankie and Merman, twin brothers, 4 years old, probably going on 5 now. Rescued from not rescued, I'd say rehomed from a dissolved sanctuary. Unfortunately, they had to disband, and that was pretty sad. But all the animals found good homes. They didn't have a big sanctuary. And now here's Frankie. Little poopy butt Frankie. So Frankie is quite a bit smaller than his brother. We were told he had a bout of coccidia when he was a baby. I think he, almost passed away from that. So he's healthy, he's good, but he does have runny poop all the time. He doesn't poop like little pellets like normal goats, so we do have to clean up that area on like kind of his backside, and gets all in his tail because his tail hangs down like that. So he'll be getting a bath later on. We'll coax him over to the fence there with some carrots and give him a quick little wipe down. Pretty dirty right now, but we'll do this bath thing, and an hour later he looks like that. So that's why we just try to do that several times a week, keep it from getting too gross. What are you doing, Frankie? He's a really beautiful boy. Say hi. You're on candid camera. Frankie, say hello to your fans. He's a good boy too. He likes affection just like his brother. Yeah, like I said, I think that's just because they've known nothing but good their whole life. Oh, Frankie. And I think that's really all we have left to do today is do Frankie's bath. There's Butters. Butters, to me, he was looking a little thin the other day, so he's waiting for his potato snack, but I think he was sucking it in. I'm not really sure. He looks fine today. I don't know. I'm like, were you sucking it in so you get extra treats? I don't know. He actually looks fine to me. He looks good. But the other day he was looking a little thin. But he's going to get his potato anyway because we love him and he's spoiled. So yeah, we're looking at Butters right now. Frankie and Merman. Frankie, our two newest residents. They've been with us for about 6 months. Butters is getting his. You're getting his potato. Oh, it's duck food time. So while I am on here, I think I'll do a quick little touchdown on the bird flu situation. We're still good. But a local zoo lost like 5 animals due to this mountain lion, something else that wasn't a bird, some swamp hen, kookaburra, which I believe is a bird, and something else. So there was a couple of animals that weren't actually like birds. So this thing is really running rampant. But from what I'm learning is it kind of comes in, it does its thing, and then it goes. So hopefully it will just pass us by altogether because we just don't need it. It's horrible. And I reported a couple last week that, another sanctuary that we know of had to euthanize like 100 birds, whether they were sick or not, because they had cases of the bird flu on their property. So this is why we're trying to stay as diligent as possible about leaving food out that attracts the wild birds. But it's really hard because I think they drink out of our water bowls and stuff like that. So anyhow, that's that. Nothing really new here, but it is still running. The bird flu is still running rampant in our county. It took the lives of several animals at a local zoo. So we're just taking it one day at a time and doing the best we can. There's our boy Merman, the bigger brother of the two. And then there's Frankie, the littler brother of the two. Our newest residents, but they've been here for 6 months. So yeah, if you're just tuning in, I'm Karen from Goats with Horns Animal Sanctuary, and I just wanted to give a little bit more in-depth intro to our boys, Frankie and Merman, 4-year-old twin brothers who came from a dissolved sanctuary. So like I said, they've known sanctuary their whole life, so that's good. That's lucky for them. They're really sweet. They're very, very sweet, very affectionate, to the point where sometimes you're like, can you give me some space so I can get my work done? Oh, Frankie. He really is a sweet boy, aren't you? Aren't you? Look at you. Yeah, you like that petting, don't you? Yeah, these guys are absolute sweethearts. That's the difference between an animal that's born and treated properly their whole life and ones that are not, He's this boy right here, though, Frankie, and he's literally one of the prettiest goats I've ever seen. He's got such a cute face. Hi, Zeus. And here comes Zeus. So Zeus can clear a room like nobody else. I don't know why. He's a nice boy, but he comes in here and everybody just runs for the hills. All right, with that, everyone, I'm going to tune out. Like I said, I just wanted to get back on my sanctuary spotlight routine and, try to be better about live streaming weekly. I do really enjoy it and I miss it. It's just sometimes I get tired when I'm done with my shift and I kind of just want to go get something to eat and go home. I'll actually be hosting the entire volunteer crew from Goats with Horns at my apartment this weekend. I'm going to cook spaghetti dinner for everyone, vegan spaghetti dinner, beyond sausages, peppers, garlic bread, and salad and wine. We're going to do a white elephant gift exchange, so it should be a good time. This will be the second time we've done it, trying to hold kind of like a holiday gathering for my volunteer pals. just to say thank you for caring for these beautiful critters. So with that, I'm going to let you all go, and we'll talk to you next time. Thanks for tuning in.